Wife was out after midnight, and I tracked her phone and find out. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. I don't even know where to start. This is a long story. The only reason I even found this sub is because this has been trapped in my head all day and I haven't been able to speak to anyone about it. Please be kind. So I've been married 16 and a half years, with my wife 21. We have had ups and downs. When I met her, she was the nicest, kindest woman I'd ever met. I literally told her she was going to be my wife 2 minutes after meeting her. We have 2 kids that are my entire world. After our second child, she started to get distant, depressed, and different. I thought she was struggling with depression. She refused to look into it. She wanted couples counseling, but this was during the recession, and I was working 4 jobs and a side business just to barely make it another month. I couldn't afford another $50 a week, especially when she wouldn't talk to me. I asked her what was wrong and she'd always say I don't know. But she'd have good weeks and bad weeks. Sometimes she'd be great, others she'd be mean and disrespectful. Once we were back on our feet, I begged her to go to counseling with me. She eventually said okay, but I don't think she liked it. We went to a woman that I think she thought was going to just tell us that I was doing everything wrong and needed to do better. She didn't. At all. At first she told her the same thing I did. I can't work with I don't know. So my wife said she needed more help around the house. Cool. This was 2015. Since then I've worked 3 jobs, vacuum the house, empty the dishwasher and sink daily, help with the laundry, take out the trash, and straighten up the house. Things were good for a bit. Then she got mean again. This time she started snapping on my daughter a lot. Finally I pulled her aside and told her that I would never divorce her. I would try to work and make our marriage better for as long as it took. But I think because my daughter is so much like me, she was taking her venom out on her. And I can't allow that. So if she wanted a divorce, that's what we'd do. The next day she said she wanted to try and make it work. And for a few years things were good. She even went to a doctor and got prescribed an antidepressant but insisted on the lowest dose. Fast forward to 2020. Went right back to the meanness and disrespect. But worse. There was total disdain in her voice whenever she spoke to me and a look of disgust whenever I showed up somewhere. It hurt. Sex was never a problem with us and we both seemed to really enjoy each other, but when she'd get in these moods she'd withhold. Still I never cheated, even though as a bartender I had many offers. At one point my sister told me she just assumed I had been cheating because she knew my wife isn't putting out for so long. I told her I'd never do that. So now we are here. Last month after a wedding we were at a hotel and I was hoping to fool around when she told me flat out, I don't want you. I think we should get divorced. We agreed to do it but hold off till after the holidays for the kids. She fell asleep 10 minutes later. I laid in bed with tears pouring down my face for 3 hours. I thought it was going to be the most pain I ever felt. Then Therese today. A week ago she had to go to a party for my daughter's softball team. At midnight she wasn't home, so I checked our Life 360 app and she was at an Applebee's. Weird, but I thought she met her friend for a drink after. Thing is she was there till 1 but they closed at 12. I asked where she went and she said some bar with the people from the party. Never said Applebee's, which was odd. 2 days later she said her boss told her she had to put a password on her phone because of work emails. Now I was suspicious. Today her mom called and asked if I could help her husband move a rug. So I went to help. When I was done I'm standing outside and looked on the Life 360 app to see if she had left work. She had. So I decided to try something. My wife has a bad habit of needing to talk on the phone when she drives, so I called her. She was short and said she had to go because she was talking to her mom, who was standing right in front of me. Okay. I went home. When she got there I asked how her mom was and if she told her I had seen her today. She said she hadn't and asked where I saw her. I said at her house. When I called you. Her face dropped. She tried some half-assed excuses but finally admitted she had been seeing someone. For a few months so before we agreed to divorce. I was shell-shocked. 10 minutes later she was acting like nothing happened. I don't know if it was to not tip off the kids or because she just don't care that she crushed me, but I suspect the latter. I couldn't even talk to anyone about it as we've kept it secret that we agreed to divorce so nobody slipped to my kids. And we had to go to a Christmas village tonight so we were all out all night. My kids knew something was wrong with me but just thought I was in a bad mood. My son literally said you sound hurt. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. The prospect of divorce was already stressful enough, and I've lost 20 pounds in the past month without even trying, just figuring out how we can do this without me losing my house. I've spent the last 15 years paying off her $10,000 in credit card debt, $15,000 in student loans, and $45,000 car. Now I'm gonna owe her at least $40,000 for the house. It's going to be painful, but I think I can do it. I was finally starting to mentally prepare myself for the divorce, and then this betrayal just hit me like a ton of bricks. In the last month, she's hurt me more than I ever thought possible. I don't even recognize the woman I married anymore. I don't even know what to do. My daughters are gonna be heartbroken when we tell her we're splitting up, but I don't even know if I should tell her about this because I don't want her hating her mom. I'm lost, confused, stressed beyond belief, and heartbroken, and I look at my wife and she looks like she couldn't care less. Thank you for listening. I don't even know if what I wrote is allowed or too much off topic, but either way I thank you because it was very therapeutic to just type it out and get it off my chest. Even if I'm typing this with more tears streaming down my face. Thank you guys. Here are some best comments from our community. This may hurt, and I definitely don't advise looking into it, but I think there is a pretty decent chance she had been cheating on you in the past too. I say this to point out that this woman is not the person you married, nor the person you think she is. I'm of the opinion that if the other parent is stable, then yes, it is probably best not to tell one's kids about the affair, or at least not until they are older. For you, it is important to just remember that she is not the woman you think she is. You are not mourning over who she is, but who you thought she was. Getting mixed up on this is how you get tricked into false reconciliation after her AP doesn't work out, which just puts you back here a few more months later when she cheats again. Someone who can't even muster up guilt, let alone remorse, is very toxic. If needed, talk to a lawyer about the best way to separate while the divorce is going through, and stick to a co-parenting app to keep all communication to a minimum. Healing will be hard while she is still around. I would advise seeking therapy or relying on social support from friends and family. Also, might be worth getting checked for STDs. Finally, do not assume she will be amicable even if she is already getting far more than she deserves. Do not assume she has what's best for the children in mind, as even if she wanted a divorce, damaging a co-parenting relationship like this shows a complete disregard about what is best for the children. There is a pretty decent chance she will try and spin it so that daddy is the bad guy. I genuinely do not know of a solution to prevent this kind of toxicity and hope someone has a better answer. I just hope that if it does boil down to picking sides, they don't get stuck with the person that can stab family in the back with a straight face. Someone who can do this and not even feel guilty, let alone remorseful, is toxic. Sorry you are going through all of this, I hope it'll start getting better soon. If you married this person, I think your spider senses may be off. It's possible that she's cheated so much that she finally decided to just leave and didn't care anymore. That were her cowardly way of telling you, let you find out on your own to maximize the hurt and you deal with it instead of her. It sounds like she intentionally let you see everything so she wouldn't have to deal with telling you. It sounds like she used you financially over the years, and back then she might have cared, but 16.5 years into a marriage, she's got you trapped financially whether she stays or goes, so it sounds like she decided to just not give a shit anymore. I'm sure early on she would have cared about hiding it to keep your money flowing in. I'm sorry you're going through this. If you barely knew her and had decided to marry her, that might have been the problem. Must have been a lot of physical attraction to love someone you'd met 60 seconds before, so you didn't really know her. Well, this is the real her, after all her bills are paid off and now you owe her for anything she takes in the divorce. Very vile person it sounds like. You really need to tell everyone, sadly, also you kids. Because the divorce is going to happen anyway. You need to be an example for the kids, showing them you do not lie to them. You do not need to tell all the details, you can just say mommy does not love daddy anymore and wants to be with another man. Mommy does not want to live with daddy anymore. So mommy and daddy are going to live in different houses. This sounds hard, but it is the truth. They are going to find out one day anyway, and then they will also discover you lied to them if you tell them anything else. Be sure you go to her parents as soon as possible, and tell them the news. Be sure to go alone, because she will surely blame you for the divorce. They also need the truth, so tell them she cheated, because that is what she did. And if I am honest, it was not the first time she cheated. Problem is, there is no proof of that. Bottom line is, tell the truth to everyone, and do it as soon as possible, or she will tell her version of the story, and I am sure in that version you are the bad guy. That's a lie. It's a lie with noble intentions, but it's a lie of omission. And the outcome of the lie isn't even guaranteed to be positive. Especially risky because you are the honest parent, and you have to hope that the dishonest parent tells them no lies. And you have to hope that when they find out, they don't consider you both to be liars. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.